Hi everyone and welcome back to another episode of the Gladiator series. So last episode we actually did quite well, leaving with a couple extra kills and escaping in back-to-back games with, some less than great weapons that we bought from the Goblin Merchant. Just to keep the ball rolling, we're actually going to purchase another arming sword, because why not? We have some gold for it. Let's see what we get. And as usual, we get a green arming sword. So, not great, not terrible. We'll probably use this in the next run if this first one goes absolutely terrible. I don't want to ruin too much about this episode, but I will just say we do get into some Morning Star action towards the end of this one, which is kind of a unique weapon for anyone considering dual wield or, making use of that Slayer perk early on. Jumping into this one, we're going to go with our arming sword and our recurve bow. We're going to try to hit this rogue, it looks like, from range. Not always the easiest task, even when they're standing still. Sometimes the projectile speed messes me up. And for the most part, I try to stick mostly with crossbows, and the projectile speed is just way different on those. We see him kind of lurking around. I don't even know if he really notices or cares about that first arrow. But we're going to do what we can to kind of, land a few hits, see what happens. Keep him on the other side of the map, hopefully, because looking at some of these rogues, if they get in close, probably with starting gear, even like a blue dagger, a green dagger, with some of their perks and abilities, can really smash your health bar quite quickly. So we're kind of tentatively working our way around this side. See another rogue kind of chilling over there. We're going to see if we can smash him with an arrow. Luckily he stands still, which makes it quite easy. But now he's a little more alert to what's going on around him. And this is always kind of a tricky thing, shooting through the floorboards, trying to hit a rogue that's double jumping away from a couple goblins. Truthfully, it's so incredibly hard to tell where their footsteps are heading or coming from, so you're kind of just guessing where he's going to pop out from. We back off a bit as we're starting to get pushed by a few of these goblins. And after this, we don't actually see that rogue again, so we kind of make our way into the middle of the map to clear a path through some of these skeletons and other mobs that could potentially get in our way. Making a bit of space for ourselves in case we need to escape. And essentially just trying to listen for players and move around and see what's out there. It's a very quiet game. I don't see a whole lot of players, and if you look at the kill feed, it's all just players dying to mobs, which at this point in the playtest I was quite surprised by. So we'll speed this up, maybe run into somebody, which I'd be quite surprised if we don't, and see what happens. So we kind of go over here to get a better look. We have a kind of a height advantage, and then we turn around and spot a little bit of chaos over here. We got a rogue and what looks like a barbarian kind of squaring off. You can tell the rogue doesn't want to get close to him, and if you're looking at the gear on those guys, definitely seems greater than what I'm carrying. Barbarian takes the exit, so we're left with just this rogue. And this is, like I said, just like, what am I supposed to do here? He can just juke arrows like endlessly. It's crazy. He tucks himself into this corner. He could even throwing knife me rupture or anything, and I'd probably be half HP if he has any good magical damage or physical damage items. Forget how it stacks, actually. Okay, he gets a bard now, also helping him. I think we do land an arrow there, but this is getting really bad. Like, if he gets close to me, we're screwed. Which he quickly does. One hit from that rapier took about 80% of my HP, and that was pretty much it. Looking at this guy's gear, you probably could call him one of the most geared rogues in Goblin Caves, and he could probably set his own series like Repose. Purples, crazy damage, purple rapier. Yeah, considering I think my total setup cost me all of nothing, that setup was definitely always going to win. So, good thing we bought that Goblin Merchant arming sword, because we now have a weapon for the next round, which we will jump into right away. Actually taking advantage of something I haven't done in quite a long time, which is run the Castellan. Not sure how you guys say that one, but basically running that 6 GP dagger alongside an arming sword. Probably the most budget build you can go to when you're looking for a little bit of cheap damage, using Slayer, dual wield, or attack speed. And I use Adrenaline Rush, which is also kind of handy. So as you all know, this is a spawn where you basically get to fight someone right off the hop. if they're willing. Judging by the sound of this guy's stabs and his feet on the concrete, sounding a lot like a rogue. Still can be quite dangerous if you allow them to juke in and out, landing ruptures or any of that poison stack damage. He seems to be having quite a bit of trouble with these mobs, so we're just gonna let them do their thing. Sometimes mob aggro can be kind of a pain, as it will randomly just turn to you if they're not getting to attack the target they're chasing. And when you're chasing a rogue, they can just hit hide and drop all their aggro. So those little goblins will turn on you in a dime and slash you, taking 50% HP pretty quickly. We see a cleric who's also kind of interested in this, but that archer luckily is keeping him away from us so we don't get judgmented. And this rogue's found his little perch, which will hopefully invade. As I don't think this guy's got a lot of great gear, but it will be worthwhile taking him out. He actually lands directly on the spikes, so that'll definitely help our cause. And 2 shots, he's done. A lot of people don't like the third swing on the arming sword, but the amount of times I finish off kills with that third swing it's just absurd. I mean, obviously because the first 2 don't fully kill them, but the third swing is a really nice headshot height, and it gives you a little bit more reach. Not saying it's always the best. That third swing definitely comes out a little bit slower than the other 2, so you kind of have to choose your moment. Most times I just finish the attack combination because I do really like the kind of headshot finisher style stab. This archer is for some reason really curious with us. He just keeps inching himself closer to us again and again. Luckily he'd been quite hurt by the cleric, I'm guessing, and that trap. We're clearing out some of these mobs. Kind of start making our way into the center of this map. We hear some footsteps on our left and someone break a door, so we're kind of gonna leave. We're actually gonna leave some of these spiders, leave that spider trap alive for a bit. It ends up becoming quite an annoying problem because they keep lurking outside that door and aggroing onto me, so yeah, it's turning into a lot of work. You can see the big string of dead spiders from me kind of just chilling here waiting for that guy to show up. He never really does. And one rounds the corner and clips us, like, incredibly fast. So it's time to deal with that pot and get it out of here. It looks like we got a fighter with a halberd, which isn't a great matchup for us at this much HP. It's about to get a little worse as well. Very tip of its reach, that skeleton manages to catch our ankles, or some part of our body, with that wide swinging attack. And then as we're trying to rejuvenate some of our health, the halberd guy ends up pushing in. And this is not looking good. Thing catches us with the spear thrust attack, which is super long ranged, as I've shown in my past videos. And we're pretty much in for it here. Nowhere to run, zone pushing us, and a guy with second wind popped, pretty decent armor, and a halberd zoning us out. You can see he also has Victory Strike, which he ends up definitely making the most of. Good for him. Victory Strike kills don't happen all that often. I suppose a weapon like the halberd is actually pretty decent on. 20% attack damage would be a little bit better if it had, you know, somewhat shorter cooldown or was more functional by regenerating maybe a little bit more HP on a kill, or having a different kind of side perk to that altogether. I do love the fact that it's a damage perk, or skill. It's just not quite up to the standard of everyone else, every other class in this game. So here we decide, you know what? We saw Victory Strike, we saw it used. Maybe we could make a case for it again, or try something different. I'm scared to run Second Wind, considering last time I used Second Wind, I instantly popped it, wasting it for the entire raid. Making the most of our gold and realizing that this playtest is quickly coming to an end, we start kind of purchasing some Morning Stars just to kind of rock out for a bit to see how well we do, and then we notice this blue longsword. And at first I'm kind of debating it, like, maybe I shouldn't buy that. And I put the Morning Stars away, which is going to be our next couple runs here. And then I go back and actually purchase the longsword. So the last couple episodes of this series will be longsword, and basically seeing how many kills we can get with that purple and blue gear we got from the rogue. For now, we're going to make the most of these Morning Stars, and we do have a few levels left to get to level 15, which was my goal. Get to level 15, have all the perks, and then rock that longsword. We do still have a lot of games to get through, but next episode, I definitely speed things up quite a bit, as I want to show you guys some of that longsword gameplay. I'll explain it all next time. For now, we got this Morning Star with Adrenaline Rush, and it's actually kind of an hilarious combination, because you're swinging that thing way faster than I think the game itself even intended. You have the dual wield perk, which gives you attack speed, and then, as you'll see here, we kind of get ourselves in trouble with this bard. He kind of surprised us and jumped down, and then we just turn on him with Adrenaline Rush and start swinging. It's just, I love the sound effect of that thing smashing into people. It's such a meaty swing. It's kind of indescribable compared to other weapons. That smash right there, the perfect range, feels really satisfying. Just a lot of times you end up clubbing people with the handle, and it's just not enough damage. So we do kind of sneak back around, loot this guy. Surprisingly enough, he had a potion on him and some okay items. Just kind of came out of nowhere. We didn't even hear him, and then he jumped on us. And I had some audio issues, so I had to cut right through that fight. Now we're looking around, and there's kind of people everywhere getting hit by arrows. Or at least almost getting hit by arrows. I got footsteps on my right, footsteps underneath me. Not the best situation to be in. Just over half HP with a less than amazing Morning Star. We're going to do our best to try to avoid this fight, so we end up going invisible for a bit. Which doesn't actually end up leading to anything exciting. And quite frankly, I think the guy knew, because he's still just stuck around almost. Didn't change his positioning at all. I think actually he wants us to jump on him because he can probably tell I have absolutely nothing on. Kind of this three-person standoff where these guys don't seem to want to fight. And I'm not going to be the first one to make the move, so we get out of there. Dodging that trap on the floor, which has caught me numerous times. We hear footsteps on the other side of this door. As we thought we did. Maybe that's underneath us. It's incredibly hard to tell. We'll close it up, avoiding the goblin for a little bit. And I kind of want to get a feel for where these guys are going, because zone is definitely squeezing us in. I don't want to be the guy directly in their path, considering they seem to have much more gear than I do. So we start working our way through some of these mobs, maybe into the center, but the circle's kind of an awkward one where the center of it is actually impossible to get to. So we're always kind of in this little square, unable to get anywhere where we want to go. Hearing quite a few players up top, I decide maybe we should go down below and clear out this archer, not before taking an arrow to the face. We decide maybe we'll try underneath, see if we can find a portal under there, because this portal did spawn. And yeah, here we have it. Just a little too late, or maybe we would have been dead anyway. This newcomer obviously had the same idea, and he kind of messes off. So we end up making our way back around to where we were before. Heading up the stairs, we hear the guy with plate boots on again. And this could probably be it for us. Basically, one swing from any weapon at all in the game right now is a death sentence. We're kind of running out of options with not a lot of gear left. We end up whacking this guy in the chest, hearing that satisfying thud at least one more time. And somehow, I don't know how, but not a single hit landed there, and we're still down here alive. I was committed to just, ending it there. Somehow he's left us for a few more moments. Truthfully, if it was me up there, I would just jump down here and finish this. You can tell probably quite clearly I don't have a helmet on. I have this leather cap, I guess. And that mace wouldn't have hurt him all that much. But for some reason, he just decides, you know what? Let's just leave. And then I'm kind of free to get out of here, I guess. We hear a door open quite close, which means there's one more guy in this raid, and it's a cleric. Not really sure what he's doing here. And he dropped Earthquake on us. So not only did it trash our frame rate, but it was actually the first time I've ever seen Earthquake used in all my time playing Dark and Darker. And that pretty much does it for this episode, and next episode we're going to be mashing some people with a mace again for a little while, and then we're zooming through a ton of kills, like a pile of kills and deaths. I'll explain it next episode, and I will see you guys then.